This great story of St. Peter laboring the whole night and not catching anything just reminded me of this passage from John 15, verses 8 and 16. It's about being fruitful in our life. By this, my Father is glorified that you bear much fruit, so you will be my disciple. So a sign of discipleship to Christ, a sign of being a follower to Christ, is to bear fruit. You did not choose me, but I chose you and appointed you that you should go and bear fruit, and that your fruit should remain, that whatever you ask the Father in my name, he may give you. So we believe that as followers of Christ, we are chosen for a purpose. Even if we were just born Christian and we found ourselves being Christian by birth, it doesn't mean that there's no purpose for us, or it does not mean that this is the only purpose, is to just be born a regular Christian and just live your life like everybody else, and it's enough that you're born Christian. No, there's a purpose, there's a potential, there's a calling for each one of us. And when we say calling, it doesn't mean service or a life of ministry or being a monk or a bishop or a priest. Calling is God's plan for each one of you to fulfill in your life, to be His image and bring Him glory. So if we just connect it with last week's talk about whatever it takes. If you remember, it was the person who was paralyzed, and his friends brought him to Christ, but the house was full, so they climbed up on the roof, they dug a hole, and they lowered that person. So, and we talked about whatever it takes for a miracle to happen in your life. And this gospel this morning, whatever it takes to, what? I want you to fill in the blank. Whatever it takes to do what in your life that God is calling you for, or you think this is your purpose. Whatever it takes to do what? I want you to fill in the blank as we talk throughout this sermon. Because each one of us here is in need of a miracle after a long night of not catching anything. You may be a servant who's given his life or who's been serving God for many years. If you're a faithful servant in Sunday school or a deacon or anything, and you're praying, you're laboring, you're wishing for fruits, and it's not any happening. Whatever it takes to make fruits for God. If you are in a relationship and it is not working, put it in this blank. If you are working hard at your work, if you're studying so hard to get a degree or to achieve a certain level of education, whatever it takes to do what? Number one, admit that your old ways are not working anymore. Peter was very honest with Jesus. He told her, we labored all night. It's not working. So why are you sending us again? So admit. Sometimes we need to have the boldness of admitting, I've been trying the same way for many years. It's not working. And sometimes we have to face that fact. It is not working. It's okay. Still, God has faith in you and has faith that He can, through you, make your life fulfilled. But number one, we have to face it. if you need a miracle in your life, if you want to be a fruitful person, if you want to be successful in whatever you do, it doesn't have just to be with service and church, but whatever your life path is, as long as you take it from Him, your marriage, your work, your family, your ministry, whatever, we have to say, it's not working. And we all know this famous quote by Einstein, it is crazy to do the same thing every day and expect different results. Same with the church. Maybe it is time for us to do things in a different way. We say, where is our youth? Where is the next generations? And we see children growing up in the church, staying with us until high school, some college, and then they disappear. Some of them come back to get married and then disappear again. And some of them stay, but the majority are not here today. We need to admit that our old ways are not working, and it is okay. It is okay. Number two, believe that the voice in you, that there is more for you outside the normal things. When Peter heard Jesus tell him, go deeper, he first admitted that it's not working, and the key word here is nevertheless. At your word, I will let down the net. Nevertheless. As I told you many times before, that the key word in the whole Bible or in the whole dealings of God with us is the word but, or nevertheless. My situation is, but I believe that. I have labored all night, nevertheless, at your word I will lay down my net. Real faith involves real obedience, despite what you see around you. It takes faith. It takes boldness to step outside of your norm. It takes courage, but it's not in you, it's on Him. You just take the risk of doing something different. Maybe at school, the way you study. Maybe in relationships, the way you perceive people, the way people perceive you. Maybe you have been laboring all night in a relationship that is not working because you have a big blind spot that you refuse to see. And maybe your wife, your spouse, your girlfriend, your partner, whoever you want to call this person, is trying to show you this blind spot. But maybe it's time for you to remove that veil and do things differently and see things differently. Number three, you can't do it alone. When they caught the fish, they caught a great number of fish and their nets were breaking, so they signaled to their partners in the other boat to come and help them. And they came, and everybody was happy and fulfilled. And both boats were filled with fish. Sometimes we are so arrogant and so prideful to ask for help. But it is okay to ask for help. It's okay to say, I don't know, or I've tried. It's not working. I need help. The more the help, the more the fruits, the more the fish, the more the success, the more is the fulfillment. But if you just close the door on yourself against other people who are caring for you, it will not work. Number four, do it humbly. Repurpose yourself. So number four, do it humbly. When Peter saw all this happening, He kneeled down, he said, "Depart from my ship or from my boat, I am a sinful man." Sometimes we're so prideful that we don't ask for help, and also we don't admit our weakness. And number 5, let God use you and transform your life to His purpose. Repurpose your life. It's okay. It's okay to restart again. Maybe you've been trying in a certain career. It's okay. People start all over again many, many times in their life. It is not a shame to change your career. It's not a shame to change the way you interact with people. Repurpose yourself. Maybe you're bored at your work. You are so bored at the job and you're stuck in it. Maybe see it in a different way. Maybe God has a calling for you in this place with these difficult people, with this difficult boss, with this boring people. See your life in a different way, because definitely Peter did not see himself catching fish after all this night. We labored all night. Nothing is working. I'm an experienced fisherman. I know how it works. There's no fish at this time. I wash my nets. It is done. No, it is never done. And we feel this way in our life. I'm done. I'm done with people. I'm done with myself. I'm done trying. I am done. I'm done. I'm done. It's an easy word, though it may carry some truth that we are so tired. Yes, you have the right to be tired. But God is never done with you. And Peter, you know his story. Denying Christ, escaping. After resurrection, still Jesus had faith in him. He went to him personally. And he went to his old job, if you know the story. After denying Christ, he went, he said to his fellow disciples, "I'm going fishing. It's not working anymore. I denied him, I cursed, I lied. He is done with me, and I'll just go back to what I know better, which is fishing." But Christ went to him personally. And he asked him 3 times, "Peter, do you love me?" So it's not about your efforts and your courage and even about your honesty. It's about a simple question and a simple answer. Do you love me? Do you still have faith in me? Do you still want me in your life? And Peter was so stuck in his weakness that he told him, "Lord, I can't even tell you I love you. You know everything. You know everything." So I hope you will apply this story, this real story about your life. Apply it in any level of your life. Wherever you are now in this life, apply it. Fill in the blanks. Whatever it takes to do what? Fill in the blanks. He is waiting for you to do that. Because as long as He is in the ship, you will not drown. And it's real. I hope we take it personally. As long as He is in my house, is in my heart, and I invite Him and I keep Him in my life, I won't drown. There is still more to be done. There is still hope. We tell Him, "You are our life, you are our resurrection, you are our hope," the hope of us all, and the life of us all, and the resurrection of us all. These words carry meaning. But not until you take it and you fill in the blanks and tell Him, "Well, I labored all night, I can't. Nevertheless, at your word, I will cast down my net. I will go. I will try something new." So maybe it is time to think about what to do different in church, in your relationship, at your work. Do different things. Christ came and he challenged all the old ways. If you read throughout the gospel, Christ did not come to repeat the old routine. No. He came and he challenged everything the Pharisees did. And this is why he is our Lord. This is why we worship him now. This is why we are called Christians. Because we follow him in challenging our old ways and always creating and recreating ourselves. If you lost purpose, repurpose your life. If you lost meaning, find a new meaning. If you're not inspired, find something to inspire you. Seek help. Don't do it alone. Whatever it takes to make a miracle. To him all glory forever. Amen.